Hey y'all, welcome to My Way Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view as they are channeled through vast dimensions of space and time, and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We took a short break. I say we because we, us. We took a short break just to calibrate some energies, especially the whole Sirius and the Sun planetary alignment, also known as Lion's Gate to the spiritual community. And yeah, just calibrating all of those energies and receiving the downloads that come with that, and just expanding the way in which we understand everything in relation to ourselves. It's been nice. It's been really nice. It's been eye-opening. So today I'm doing an Indigo reading, which, if I'm going to be honest, I'm very kind of like nervous to do. Just because of the downloads that are coming with it. So I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to put it out there. So, Indigos, a lot of you are connected to what the world has previously referred to as the Sybils. I've done a reading about the Sybils before. It was really surface touching, stuff like that, which I do so that you guys can go do your own research about certain topics that you feel that you resonate with. The Sybils were known in Egypt as the prophetesses of Ma'at, and I believe the last Sybil was seen in Rome with a certain king. Interesting story, by the way. Yeah, yes, even if I tell you the story, I won't do it justice. So, like, you can go look it up if you want. He was known as the Proud King. Maybe look up the last Sybil in Rome with the Proud King, because yeah, I know you guys are into me telling stories, but I promise you I will not do this one justice. But yes, they were basically prophetesses that were known throughout like the worlds, old world, new world, as teachers more than anything, because this world prophetess kind of makes you feel like, oh, okay, so this is someone that tells the future, or this is someone whatever. But no, like the Sybils were actually teachers. And yes, they were able to connect to other dimensions, also known as the past, also known as the future. So they were able to draw in from different frequencies, from different dimensions, and teach people how to not only navigate their lives, but how to enrich themselves, how to strive for better, and therefore evolve. They taught people how to evolve through day-to-day living. And it is said that the books of the Sybils is actually what makes up what is referred to as the book of Genesis and the book of Revelations in the Bible. Those are the predictions of actually the Sybils. So yeah, or those are the explanations and the teachings in terms of Exodus, in terms of Genesis. Okay, those are the teachings of the Sybils in terms of like how the world came about and so forth. And Revelations is basically a foretelling of the future by the Sybils. But also, it's not exactly like that. Like, obviously, religious leaders changed it just to better tell the story that they were trying to put across. So they've made a lot of changes to it. However, I feel like, they more or less they kept the core of the story, but people can never know because it's so shrouded in symbolism. Another thing that the prophetesses used to do was to help initiate people who had certain abilities that were very different from the day-to-day human being, like people that were more sensitive to energies, people that were able to process higher frequencies and higher dimensions, and therefore be able to get certain messages themselves and so forth. So they were in charge of teaching those people and helping them navigate their lives, because their lives are so different to everybody else's. And what I was nervous to say in this reading, that I keep getting pushed to say, is that indigos, I know that you guys kind of feel like you have this like really laid back surfer girl, surfer boy attitude towards life, about how when you got off on the wrong bus in terms of this three-dimensional universe, and you're just gonna stick to yourself, and, you know, live the best life you can, and, you know, just like, it's cool, it's whatever, you're not gonna bother anyone, you don't want anyone to bother you, and blah 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 blah. And like, yo, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. It's not a mistake. You did not get off on the wrong bus. It's not accidental that you ended up here. And the self-initiation that you've been going through is actually leading towards a somewhere. I need you guys specifically as the indigos, because we all know self-initiation is not like, you know, the actual self. That's like teaching the self. That would be ridiculous. Like when they talk about self-initiation, or when we talk about self-initiation within the spiritual community, we're talking about being taught by either your ancestors or other beings. And that's, I guess, also another big difference with the indigos, where indigos are not so much connected to their immediate bloodline ancestors. It's not that you don't have a connection to them, it's more of like you've transcended all the cycles that are involved in that. You've kind of done all the karmic work when it comes to your bloodline family. And if you haven't, you can wrap it up, like, I don't want to say really quickly, but quite efficiently within this life. You're able to like wrap it up and move on. That's why you've got so much time to chill and stare at the stars and be like, I wonder what my purpose is. I wonder who am I, and you know, all of that. So I was saying there's a thing that's happening where like you get a range of like self-initiates, right? Or people that are getting self-initiated. You get people that are getting initiated by like actually bloodline, like families, like what we call ancestors basically. But then you've got indigos. The indigos, like I said, have transcended the whole ancestral cycle type of thing. So they find themselves not really connecting to that type of energy, and instead they're connecting more to their entity side, or the entity side of their DNA. Um, I want to say the plasmic, yeah, like the plasmic side of their DNA, which is so exciting because it transcends duality also. In that part of the template, it's beyond good and bad. It's power. I got that line from the acolytes. I'm not even gonna front. But yo, it fit in so well. um it's not though. It's not about good and bad, it's about power. And I know that we live in a society where you think power is something that like it's like tangible. Like power is something that other people have to see about you and they have to be afraid, or they have to clap for you and be like, oh my god, like praise you, you have power. Like no, oh my god. That's like, that's lame. I'm sorry if that's what you're into. Sorry. But yeah. Transcending duality, that shit is power. And it's weird because it's unexplainable, Sham. Like really, because that ability to be in the observer seat, that shit is power. That shit is power. To be able to watch people playing in the playground of life. And being in your own place where there's a different set of rules. Like, listen. And that's basically what these entities and these spirits teach indigo kids. And as much as you have this California attitude of like, it's cool, you know, just wind in my hair, I'm here to chill and like smoke a blunt and like do nothing else. Like, yeah, that's really coming to a stop, you indigo kids. That's really coming to an end. Because there's a reason why you got dropped off in this dimension. There's a reason why, and that's coming to light because your initiation, just like everybody else's, is coming to an end. And I like it because I don't know, maybe your initiation for some of you didn't even feel like an initiation. It just feels because because for indigo children or for indigo people, it's more of just being reminded that, by the way, this is not you, this is you. And just that constant reminder through certain things that happen in your life. And some indigo people take it on smoothly and some fight because they're like, no, I am this. And it's like, oh, boo. And then, you know, you get to do it again and again and again until you get it. But yeah. The reason why I started the reading talking about the symbols is because that's where you're headed, you indigos. You guys are headed to a space where you are teachers. And when I say that, you might be thinking of yourself and you're like, there's no ways, me. There's no fucking ways. Because you're thinking about the symbols and the way I've described them, and you're thinking, you know, something on a world view, but you're not understanding that in this day and age, the way things are now, the way we're all so connected through the internet, through globalization, you get to be something big and important even just in your community. You get to be something big and important just in your family. Like, that's now good enough. That's how much the power and the energy has been shared out. And that's what's happening. You guys are being able to reach through space and time and connect yourselves to information and ways of living that you can pull into this current reality and light up your whole life. And light up the life of your family and light up the life of your friends, of your community at large. You guys are a blessing. You're a blessing to the people that know you, to the people that don't. And that's a responsibility that I feel like a lot of you have been running away from because you know it's a responsibility. You are the people that know that power isn't a performance. It's actually a responsibility. Like, that thing I was saying about how power is not about something that like people must always be able to see and be afraid of you. You guys already know that. Like, that's why you guys are not hungry for power. You're not there like, oh my God. You're actually like, not me. Don't pick me. Don't pick me. And that's maybe why you're getting picked. That's why you're picked. Because you would never abuse something like that. Like, you would never abuse that seat. So in terms of indigo, some of you, it's the whole Sanusi thing. I don't know if you remember the Sanusi reading. Yes. So some of you, that's coming across as the Sanusi energy. Maybe go watch that reading again. This is so beautiful. I'm not gonna get emotional. Okay, so it hasn't been an easy journey. Yeah, because remember I was like, with some of you it's kind of been a chilled journey, but I'm getting that the majority of you that I'm talking to, it hasn't been such a chilled journey because you kind of you were fighting it. You were fighting it really hard. You were really trying to be like everyone else. You were really hoping that you were just normal. You were like, just once in one lifetime. Can I just be normal? Can I just be like everyone else? And it was like, no, still, not again. No. Like, no. No. You've got you got shit to do. And also, I just want to say, right, you're going to come across people that seem smarter than you, like really, really smarter than you. Like, they understand certain things you don't, like really deep scientific concepts and mathematical concepts and stuff like that, right? And you're going to be like, why can't they do it? They're clearly smart. And those people, but they're not like you. They're not indigos. Like, you can feel it. They don't have that resonance. Like, they don't have it. You know what I'm talking about, because I feel like there's people coming through with their whole book intelligence, with their book smartness, on some, yeah, that doesn't make sense, that's a whole lot of crap, that's whatever, just because they understand what XY by Z is, or whatever it is. And I need you to understand that, do you know how much information those people have to read? How many books they have to grasp? Like, how many books they have to take in to grasp a concept that comes to you by touch of an entity? You don't have to read everything they read, because if I'm going to be honest, a lot of it is irrelevant in relation to what you need to know, in relation to what you are doing here. So don't be intimidated by that. Like, you as an indigo, you're able to sift like through all this so-called, I want to say knowledge, but you're able to sift through all this information like that has been put out there to confuse people, and you're able to go directly to a shadow of the truth, which then activates the actual truth within your template. So trust that. Go with that. Don't be intimidated by like dumb shit. You've arrived. That's how I'm feeling, Indigo, to be honest. Like, I feel like you are letting go of that energy that I spoke about. That whole just here to fuck around and like it's cool, like YOLO and all of that shit, like yeah, whatever. I feel like you're starting to take yourself more seriously, and it's not about you being delusional and thinking you're here to put on your Superman cape and save the world. You know that it's nothing about that. You understand that it's about raising the frequency of your own life, and then everything else will take its place from your actions, like a domino effect, basically. Then from there, everything will change, including your reality, because it has to take note of the fact that you've arrived, and it will. You've got the magician. Yo, imagine, look at all this major arcanas. You've got the magician, you've got the death card, you've got the world card, and then you've got justice. It's just screaming symbols. Like that, this was actually the card that was making me emotional, because this is just screaming symbols. And the fact that it's almost like you've been anointed with this certain flow of energy. And it does require so much from you. Like, it required you to literally like transform your entire being, your entire self, from everything that you've like said you believe from when you were young, to a new understanding of what your life is actually like. And I don't know, it's like, yes, the transformation I'm talking about, it's already happening. Like, it's happening with you, it's happening within your reality, it's already happening. Oh, okay. And there's something else I want to talk about, right? Kind of, like a little bit. I'm just going to touch on it a little bit, right? So, the symbols, as you've heard me talk about, like prophetesses, right? Which basically like women, female, right? And if you're a man watching this video and you got this far and maybe asking yourself, like, as a man, where do I fit in? The symbols never traveled alone. They always traveled with a guardian. And there's like an oath sworn between these two, between the Sybil and the Guardian. And you might be in a space where you're hearing me and you're thinking, oh fuck, once again my role as a man is reduced to being the protector or being the provider. And that is something that you need to work through, if I'm going to be honest. That's just because of what society has made you think, that that role is a reduction of who you are, when it's not. The reason why, like, as a society, men feel like they need to provide and whatever, one of the first teachings of that role was through this role, the role between the prophetess and her guardian. That's where that template of men provide and protect actually, like that, this is one of the places where that template came from. And I think people don't get that. It is a template. It's not something that actually came when man like began. We sat and discussed like, oh, what about if you did this? And this was one of the first templates that represented that. And because it's a natural thing for these men, and then the rest of the men around you wanted to be like you, and they decided, okay, cool, our role is also to protect and provide for women or whatever. But yes, you will understand what I'm saying. Like, you'll get activated with what I'm saying, and you'll get it, because I don't want to go too much into that. Guys, that's what I have for you today. If you like the reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to book a reading, all the information is in the description box. Coolio. Later.